Shri Shri Das Viharini Ju Ki Jai Ho. Continuing with Vrajkishori Seva Trust reading of the Bade Shiksha Patra of Shri Harirai Ji. Today is, quite incredibly, I have to say, day 74 of our readings, and we are on letter 29, starting today. 7 verses for the protection of the jewel of intelligence. The 29th letter is a short letter focusing on buddhi, intelligence, and how to maintain and protect it in this age of struggle. The core teachings herein are pivotal and essential for Vaishnava devotees. The index is given separately from the reading. The 29th letter teaches us how, in this age of struggle, which can easily pollute our minds, to keep our intelligence focused through the practice of good association, remembrance of and surrender to Sri Krishna. If you do not do this, you will be wasting your efforts. This is why Sri Acharyaji makes this application. May this be pleasing to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, who is the force of inspiration behind the intellect, explaining this to be the true purport of the Gayatri prayer. It describes how the Lord himself will keep our minds under control when we remember and surrender to him. Previously we read how we can develop the feeling of separation from the Lord through humility, and that this leads to pure love for the Lord. But how to sustain this pure intelligence is discussed here. Verse 1. The age has now arrived which can destroy everyone's intelligence, so keep yours hidden like you would hide a precious jewel. In this present age of struggle, everyone's intelligence has been destroyed. There have appeared many religious paths, and so one may think, my path didn't work out, let me choose another. So in this way, one's intelligence is compromised. Even the mind capable of grasping the true righteous path can be carried away by this age and rendered incapable of understanding its true identity. With this tainted intelligence, one begins to behave contrarily. Therefore, be careful. This age has come to carry off your intelligence. If you have the pure mind of a Vaishnava, keep it well guarded like a precious jewel. Don't reveal it to anyone. If a precious jewel is not properly guarded, the thief will come who will take it away. Make efforts to protect it, and it will stay safe with you. Verse 2. Protect your intelligence through the practice of good association, remembrance and surrender. If you do not thus protect it, all your other efforts will be useless. Tika 2. Here Sri Harirai Ji teaches us how to protect our intelligence. Always stay in the association of Vaishnavas on the path of grace. Bring your mind to a state of meditation and focus on Sri Krishna's form whilst totally surrendering to him. Repeat the 8-syllable prayer whilst surrendering your heart to Sri Krishna. Without such feeling, mere repetition is an empty act. Just as throwing oblations for the fire sacrifice into mere ashes is fruitless, mere practice without heartfelt sentiment is quite useless. Verse 3. Therefore, the compassionate Sri Acharyaji has taught his followers to behave in such a way as to be pleasing to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. If you should question the origin of this instruction to make efforts to protect the jewel of your intelligence, know that Sri Acharyaji himself states, may this action be pleasing to Sri Krishna, who is the stimulating force of the intelligence. Buddhi preraka Krishnasya pada padmam prasidatu. Intelligence becomes beautiful by being pleasing to Sri Krishna's lotus feet. Therefore know that this kind of beautiful intelligence is found exclusively in those who are totally surrendered to him in thought, word and deed. Verses 4 and 5. This prayer, to always please Sri Krishna's lotus feet, is the benefit of the Gayatri mantra. In the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna blissfully told Arjuna, I grant this joining of the intelligence to myself through which one attains me. When the intelligence is one-pointedly fixed, then without a doubt, Sri Hari will always remain situated in your heart. The Gayatri mantra is given to the children of Brahmins. Its third line is about this inspiration of the intelligence, and its benefit is that the Lord grants this beautiful purified intelligence. The Gayatri grants the knowledge to be worthy of performing Vedic karma, scriptural and religious ritual. In the same way, when Sri Krishna is the inspirer of the intelligence, showers his grace, then a Vaishnava intelligence becomes pure, and this is a great kindness of the Lord. When your intelligence is purified, you can contemplate the Lord. Sri Krishna tells Arjuna this in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The second chapter thereof describes steady intelligence and how to maintain it so that the Lord constantly remains in your heart. When the intelligence wavers, then doubtless the Lord vacates the heart. Therefore, one whole chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is the teaching of Sri Krishna about this linking of your intelligence to the divine. Because when the intelligence is purified, then the righteous path, recitation of prayers, asceticism, charity, fasting, the practices of the path of lawful limitations, the path of action, the path of knowledge, the path of yoga, and the path of grace are all fully achieved. Without such a purified intelligence, there can be no attainment of perfection in any activity. Verse 6. It has been described in Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ji that when the intelligence is destroyed, everything else is ruined. Since intelligence is the foundation of all loving sentiment for the divine, it should be suitably well protected. Tika. It has been described in Srimad Bhagavad Gita how your spiritual consciousness is destroyed when your intelligence is ruined. The Lord says to Arjuna, when an embodied soul engages in sensual activity and becomes fully involved in such activity, and the bad association that goes with it, then desire for the objects of sense arises. When this desire is not filled, then anger rises. From anger comes infatuation. From infatuation becomes forgetfulness of one's true identity. From this ignorance is born, and ignorance leads you to adopt worldly ways and the deceit which sustains your involvement in them. This is how forgetfulness of your true identity leads to the destruction of your intelligence and your spiritual awareness. The intelligence should be the foundation of your pure loving sentiments towards the Lord, and she should be protected as such. The next verse describes how. Verse 7. Protect your intelligence by always eating prasad, the remnants of foodstuffs offered to the Lord, and by serving the Lord. Regularly meet with other good souls, listen to the accounts of Sri Krishna's pastimes, and sing his praises. Tika. Having stated that when your intelligence is protected and sustained, then everything else is perfected, the question is how to protect it. The answer is given here. Never allow your mind to waver by using anything which you have not first offered to the Lord. Always eat only the remains of food offerings you have made to Sri Krishna. Serve him every day and associate with accomplished devotees. Give up all other types of bad company. Listen to and recount the stories of Sri Krishna's pastimes and speak his name. Then will your intelligence be pure, and then the Lord will enter your heart. Thus concludes letter 29. आज के आनंद की जय हो, सब वैष्णवों को जय श्री कृष्ण, सादर जय श्री कृष्ण, श्री आचार्य जी की जय, श्री हरिराय जी बड़े शिक्षा पत्र की जय हो, जय जय श्री गोवर्धनाथ जी की, श्री गोसाई जी की जय, श्री श्री रास बिहारनी जो विजय थे, जय जय श्री राधे।